Hey, I'm John Coley with Lake Martin Voice Realty. Okay, so you have done your home inspection. Now what? So before I get to the now what's, let me give you two key assumptions that I'm making here. Key assumption number one is that you hired a professional, certified, insured home inspector. That's big. Assumption number two is that you have a home inspection contingency in your contract. Because if you don't, then you're not going to be able to make that contingency stick with the seller or whatever. But anyway, those are two big assumptions. So now what? You've gotten the inspection. What do you do? The first step is you want to review the whole list with your inspector. And the key things that you want to do when you review a home inspection with the inspector is, number one, you want to get technical explanations for anything you don't understand. And if you're like me, I'm not a licensed home inspector or anything like that. I need technical explanations for everything. So what does all this mean? Let them tell you that. Number two, you want the inspector to give you some context. And so you can ask them questions like, hey, is this stuff common? Like, for instance, new home construction is different than older home construction. They can compare and contrast that for you. You can give you just some context, okay? All right, and so then you've done that. So now what is your step number two? You want to get a list together and then talk to your agent. Obviously I'd like that to be me, but anyway, so after you talk to the inspector, you get a list. Here are the things that I'm concerned about, and you talk to your real estate agent about that. Here are some things that you want to talk to your real estate agent about is, first of all, sometimes some contracts have a clause, a contingency clause in there that says there's a pre-negotiated amount of repairs that the seller's going to pay. Sometimes there's not. Sometimes it's zero. Here in Alabama, there's no set thing. It's whatever the buyer and the seller agree to. So you need to get your real estate agent to help you compare the list that you've made with the inspector to what is in the contract. And then number three, you just need to answer the questions, does this equal our expectations or not? When we sat down and we negotiated this sales contract with the seller, does the condition of the house that the home inspector found equal our expectations? Sometimes it matters, sometimes it doesn't. For instance, the buyer may say, like if you have some stairs, for instance, that the inspector says, hey, these are rickety or, and need some looking at. You might say, well, wait a minute. When I negotiated this contract, I didn't expect that I would have to repair these stairs. This is a big deal for me. Or on the other hand, the buyer might say, you know what? I was going to take those stairs out anyway and totally change them. I don't care that the inspector says they're rickety. So that's the kind of stuff that you have to compare your expectations with the agent. But the key to all this is understanding that the buyer and the seller are the key decision makers in this process and in the process of anything with a contract in Alabama. Whatever they agree to, pretty much, unless it's unlawful, whatever they agree to goes. It's not the home inspector's job to tell you what to do. It's not the real estate agent's job to tell you what to do as a buyer. You have to make that decision yourself, because if you think about it, like me, big disclosure, I'm not a builder, I'm not a home inspector, I'm not licensed on any of that stuff. So I shouldn't be telling you anything about what is to code and what isn't, or what's safe and what's not. That's what you hire a home inspector for. Similarly, a home inspector is not going to tell you, okay, well, if you add this kitchen or if you make this change, your market value of your home is going to go up by this much. That's the real estate agent's job. So as a buyer, you need to hear from both parties on their expertise. The home inspector on the expertise of what is a home supposed to be like as far as structurally and what's safety and all that sort of thing. And then from the real estate agent, what does the condition of this house reflect and what's its context in the greater market? Obviously, I sell real estate here at Lake Martin, waterfront homes, condos, and lots and everything. So I'd love to help you out. My website is lakemartinvoice.com and my number is 334-221-5862. Just give me a holler. I'd love to help you out. Thanks.